Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. As-salatu was-salamu ala Sayyidil Mursaleen. Nabeena Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani. We will start with the dua. We start making connection with our Creator Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala by the dua which is taught by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allahumma anfa'na bima 'allamtana wa 'allimna ma yanfa'una wa zidna ilma. O Allah, benefit us through what you teach us and teach us what is beneficial to us and increase us in knowledge. Unless we connect to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you cannot get the right support, the right way to gain knowledge. So bring Allah, our Creator, our Guardian Lord, our Rabb in picture all time for any activity, particularly related to Islam or our Islamic way of life. So, I'm sorry, we have नहीं आवाज़ नहीं आ रही है. I'm sorry that we not wasted, but we spent some time to make seating arrangement, and the productive time is not properly utilized. And Alhamdulillah, the response from the sister's side is fantastic, which gives me a great pleasure to see that the main force of our ummah, which is half of the ummah population, women folk, they are interested in such things. So, inshallah, since there are certain seats empty here, I request those who are sitting behind occupies this place rather than sitting behind. Of course, Dr. Najma, this table, I think they are organizers, so they have to be at this. They are already aware of what I am going to talk, but others, I request, if possible, if convenient, please occupy the front seats. So that will make me feel good. Otherwise, I will feel that I am only addressing in the front row and looking at them, and the backsiders are left out. This is not correct. I have to care for each and every person who is attending this. So that's why I request, if something is to be asked, stop me and ask me and get the clarification if something is not clear, and I will be, inshallah, try to do my best. Okay. We were discussing about the basic issues concerning learning for dawah, concerning understanding dawah. So we came to this particular slide and stopped here. If you remember, if you recollect what we did, we tried to see how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts this activity of dawah in the what He revealed to us, the Quran. So this should be a starting point. So I have picked certain verses. These are not all the verses related to Dawah, but these are the verses which are more relevant to the point which I want to make it. In these verses, the word, the concept of inviting others, the concept of Dawah, in the first verse, it is imperative way. It's a command, as a sort of instruction given. Udu, call to the way of Lord. And the second, talking about who calls, and whosoever calls, and whatever he speaks, who is better than that? The person who is calling. The third is, it's talking about corrective calling. So, but the point is not related to Dawah alone, but point is to call who? I mean, to what? Ila what? Towards what? To call. So the first thing is mentioning that to the way of Lord, to the path, to the straight path, we understand. Then the second verse, towards Allah, towards the Creator. The third is towards what all is good, towards good. And we were trying to see if all these meanings can be brought into, one word which represents all these three concepts. Good, concept of what is good, concept of Allah, calling towards Allah means concerning Allah, and the way of Allah. So these things we found that, do you remember, what was it? This arrow? Islam, yes. Oh, what is this? How come? What happened? This fellow is there. Jay Kumar. Thank you. Jazakallah khair. Now we come to a point which needs our attention. So we concluded that we have to call towards Islam. This is okay, academic. What exactly we mean by Islam? Here lies the catch. We know it is Islam, but we don't know in concrete terms what exactly it means. So we have to understand first, before communicating to others, what is Islam? So I put this question to all of you. What do you think? What is Islam? We are going to communicate to non-Muslims. Islam. What is this Islam?
Islam is peace of humanity.
Sorry?
Islam is peace for humanity. Peace for humanity. Islam is peace for humanity.
Okay. Not bad. Any other input?
Surrender.
Sorry?
To surrender. To submit.
Total submission.
Sorry?
Total submission to the will of Allah.
Yeah. Attitude also.
Yes?
Way of life.
It is the perfect, complete way of life in accordance to submission to the one who created us.
Big statement. And not wrong. Very true, 100% correct, no doubt about it. But the concept, in simple words, what is the concept? So the question can be answered not in one way. It depends on from which perspective you want the answer. You want the answer to know its meaning, that is the one answer. Meaning means the meaning as a term, submission to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is one way, the correct answer, but one perspective, giving meaning. The other perspective is it's a system of life or way of life, how you organize your life. It is a deen. This is true. This is from another perspective. There are other perspectives, and these perspectives are not elaborated in our discussions on Islam. We remain confined to the academic side, not understanding the conceptual side. My interest is the concept. The concept should be first, then the definition comes. And this is very effective method, which I tried with the non-Muslim visitors to the mosque. And first I attempted to introduce the concept and then I told this is called Islam. So this made a very profound effect on the listener. But another way I could do was Islam is a way of life, it is submission to Allah. That fellow will listen to this, hear this, but he will not take inside. It will not go to his mind, it will not go to his heart. He will say that these fellows have got this sort of concept. This is what they are doing. Of course, they are backward people. They are not advanced like us. So he will smile or she will smile and agree, nod head, and all pleasantries, mujamala, and then khalas. And you feel happy. Okay, I did a good job. No, I could not put across the concept. So I will narrate my experience with one non-Muslim, an American non-Muslim who was an officer in naval base, big officer. The whole team came as guests, and I was the one who gave the tour. So I interacted with him. I proceeded step by step. It is not in one go or one thing just to give him answer. No, I wanted to give an answer step by step. If one step he agrees, then I go to the next step. If he agrees, I pin there, go to next step. So this way I proceeded. I asked one question. I asked, you are Christian, he was a Christian. We Muslims, Christians, Jews, we believe in Prophet Ibrahim alayhi salam. He said, yes. So we are Abrahamic faith. Yes. We all believe, then I have to narrate how we are Abrahamic faith. The repetition of this, even if they know, it serves as a reminder. It will help you to make your point strong by reminding. So I repeated this. We all three believe he was father of all prophets, Abul Anbiya. He said, yes. Bible mentions this. Bible also mentions he was a friend of God. He said, yes. In Arabic, we have the term Khalilullah. Khalil is the word which is stronger than a friend. It's very close friend. Anyway, I think I told this story yesterday, but I'm repeating for the newcomers today, more new faces I see. So I then proceeded further, putting this question: what was his religion? He was not prepared mentally to answer this question because he never thought about the religion of Ibrahim alayhi salam. So there were guesses. I will not go into those details. I asked again, was he a religious person or not? Did he believe in God or not? Yes, he was believer in God, very strong believer in God, and he showed a lot of devotion in God. We have these stories in the Bible and the Quran, how when God asked him to sacrifice his son, he was ready immediately. Even though the son was most precious thing for him, the son was born in late age after a lot of prayers. Ibrahim alayhi salam could have implored, "Oh God, leave me. You have given this son in old age and you want me to sacrifice. Please be kind to me. Spare me." He did not plead like this. He said, "Yes, I am ready." So this shows the devotion towards God. So he believed in God, fully devoted. Yes, he agreed. So what is this? There is one word in Arabic which represents this particular attitude towards God, attitude of devotion towards God. And you have heard, but let me know what you guess. So somebody in the group said, "Inshallah." When they said, I asked Arabic word, then their Arabic is Inshallah. I said, no. Then Islam, Islam, Islam. So really, yes. So what is the bottom line? Bottom line is Islam is an attitude. Islam is an attitude. If you say religion, yes, it is not wrong. It is a religion because all human beings in the world recognize Islam as a religion. You cannot deny it. This is a fact. But for the purpose, I have to have this perspective to introduce Islam to a non-Muslim. So I have to use another perspective. And that perspective is, it is an attitude. It is attitude of devotion, attitude of submission to the will of God. Submission to the will of God also is not very much practical. It looks like theoretical suggestion. So make it more acceptable, easy way. So what is the, paraphrasing the same thing, attitude of submission? Then I say, follow the rules. This is practical. Follow the rules in your life, rules of God. The rules. Following the rules is nothing but submission. And the rules we have in our life, in our secular life. If you are in the class, there are classroom rules. If you are on road, there are traffic rules, rules, everywhere rules. Why do we have rules? Rules are there to make our life easy. This is to benefit us. So Allah's rules are all which benefit us. If we accept this and agree and apply this, that means we submit to follow what He suggests, what He instructs, then it is, this attitude is Islam. And this is the concept, not my concept, this is the concept in the Quran. The Quran gives the concept of Islam as an attitude rather than a religion. So when Allah wants to address Muslims, He addresses not as a religious group like Christians, Nasara. This is a religious group, not like Yahud. This is a religious group, but addresses, you will not find any verse by addressing Muslims, Ya ayyuhal Muslimun, oh who are Muslims. Never, not a single verse in the whole Quran. O Muslims, Allah doesn't address Muslims. O Muslims. How does He address? Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. Those who believe. Believe. This is the attitude. You are bringing Allah into picture. You believe Allah exists and you accept and you want to follow the rules. So this attitude. So Quran presents Islam as an attitude of obeying Allah, believing Allah. All those things are synonymous terms. They are used in different occasions, different ways. Obeying Allah or submission to Allah or all these things. But since we are conditioned to think Islam as a religion, when we translate, most of the translations are Islam is the only way acceptable to God. The statement is correct, technically. But this is not the concept which Quran conveys. Quran doesn't convey Islam as a religion. Quran conveys the concept of your relationship with Allah, relationship of devotion, relationship of submission, obeying what He wants. So this relationship is an attitude, expressed in the attitude which is Islam. So all verses which talk about Islam or its word, the derivative of the word Islam, Muslims, that means those who follow Islam, all these are in this particular descriptive sense. The word Islam, Quran uses only in descriptive sense, which describes the function of a creature in relation to the Creator. So Islam, when Quran describes, it is not limited only to human beings. Quran also refers Islam with reference to other creatures, the sun, the moon, anything in the universe is submitting to Allah. The Arabic word used is aslama. So in that context, so this is the concept which Allah gives us in the Quran. But since our mind is conditioned to, when we hear the word Islam, immediately we say it is a religion. So this is not wrong, but it is at the same time, it is not so much right that it gives the original concept mentioned in the Quran, particularly in case of dawah. Why I am going in so much detail is with reference to dawah, with reference to calling non-Muslims, those who do not believe in Islam, how to attract them, how I can approach them to do this. So this is one strategy, that this is not a religion per se, this is an attitude. This is an attitude. I have got other definitions for non-Muslims, calling non-Muslims to Islam, which are not in the books. This is my own interpretation. If you agree, okay. If you don't agree, also is okay. It's not, I don't want to say, yes, this is nice. What is the definition? I define for those people who are not Muslims, Islam as a way of life or organizing life in a way, what way? Fulfilling the rights of who? Rights of anything and everything with whom or with what I interact. When I interact with living beings, this relationship, or even non-living beings, I interact. I interact with the environment. This is interaction. So fulfilling the rights. So Islam has identified rights of all those with a human being interacts. So organize the life in such a way that it fulfills the rights, fulfilling the right. This is our duty. Right means you have got one side is the right, the other side is duty. Our parents have rights means we have duty towards parent. So one side there is a right, the other side is duty. So if they have rights, then it is our duty to fulfill. Okay. Now we have to identify what are those things with whom or with which we interact. So I tried to make it simple. I identified two components in this whole picture. One is vertical component. I have spoken earlier also, but I am repeating again so that it is registered firmly in your mind. There is vertical component, which is the connection with the Creator. Why I interact with the Creator? Is it right? I don't know the Creator. Yeah, but even then you know. When human being is born on natural instinct, fitra. And that fitra is the child knows there is a Creator. But we don't have a memory at that time to say that still I remember I was believing this. So this is instilled in our instinctively it is present in by birth to have interaction with the Creator. To elaborate further, the child, when it comes to the world, is provided what all is required for his existence, for child's existence and growth. What do we need for our physical existence? We need food, water, air first. So all these things are available to keep you alive and grow. Okay, now growing process start. So Allah, the Creator is behind all this process. He is managing all this process. We don't know. We don't know that this is management going on. Because we don't think. If we think, then we will know. We have taken things for granted, so we don't know. When things happen routinely, we say it is like this. No, it is not like this. There is a big plan. Imagine when human being was not present in this world, his food did not exist in this world, his food. When he came, immediately the food is available. What is the child's baby's food? Mother's milk. It was not existing a day before and it is available today. And if you analyze the chemical composition and the nutrition and all these things, most suitable for this baby at this age is this milk. You make all products for commercial purposes, nothing can be comparable. Most natural food is mother's milk. If you feed another milk, artificial milk, it will have some problem. So this is natural arrangement. And this baby is now growing. Only milk is not sufficient. And the milk composition also changes with time. If you analyze the milk, the day 1 milk is different from day 30 days or 1 month. So the milk composition also changing automatically, unasked for. This is the natural program. We say natural program. No, it is God's program. You don't believe, the scientists don't believe, say they put this whole credit to the nature. What is nature? Nature is God's plan. God has planned things work. It has given certain characteristics, physical characteristics. Yes, thank you, Brother Ahmad. In the heat of flow, talking, I lose the track of time. It's time for Salah. So, please announce. Yes.
Please, we will go for Salah now. We have 6:45 for to come back to start our session again. Jazakumullah khair.
Yes, please.
How about addressing an atheist, someone who doesn't believe in God totally? You come at that?
Yes.
Because this is what you get a lot.
Right. When the baby grows, starts getting teeth, that means no more milk, and the milk dries out, and solid food starts. See this arrangement. And mother knows, feeds solid. Why this? How this? We never thought such things happening. Even we ourselves, we enjoy certain food, we take a morsel, very sweet, very nice, very ladhiz, really delicious, and then swallow. But what happens after swallowing? There's a whole system, factory is working here in the stomach, this small place, big factory. What is the job of the factory? It takes out nutrients from this food. What is required is kept and distributed in the body. What is not required is drained out. What is required also distributed proportionally. If there is a calcium, it will not go to flesh, it will go to only bones. What is this distributory system? A human being cannot have, even in factory, proper distributory system. There will be some defects, there will be trial and error, but there is no mistake. And consistently, the whole system is operative without your understanding, without your knowledge. This is the work of Allah. This is the work of Allah. So Allah is always present. His function is always present, whether you are aware or not. You are always, every second, every breath we take inside, every breath we put outside is dependent on Allah. And we are so ungrateful, we remove Allah from our mind. Allah has to be present each and every second. So this is, when we contemplate how Allah functions, then we understand this. Then we realize the importance of keeping Allah in our mind all the time, every time. It is not only Salah time, it is not only Ramadan time, not only when reading Quran, every moment. That's why Azkar. What is Azkar? I take a cup of tea, Bismillah, I bring Allah in the picture. So, remember Allah all the time. Allah has given this plan and direction, guideline, how to practically you can implement. And you have to know this. But we are lost in our own wishful way of living. So, we are not benefited by Allah's prescribed way of life. This life is for our own benefit, and there are many things to talk about, but inshallah, after Salah. Assalamu alaikum again. We'll resume where we left. This was the slide, and we want to convey Islam. So what exactly we mean in practical terms? We are talking about what exactly we mean in practical terms by using this word Islam. We understand Islam, but it doesn't mean that the same thing is to be communicated to non-Muslims. So I try to rephrase or reword the definition of Islam So we have talked about certain definitions from different perspectives, and then there is one more perspective which I would like to share with you, which is not defined in the books. This is my own conclusion. Islam is to be presented to non-Muslims as, because the non-Muslims think this is a religion. So from that perspective, we have talked about this is not religion, this is an attitude, which is Quranic concept. So that I will not repeat again, but the another definition, another perspective, another angle to look at Islam is this. I define Islam by this statement. Anybody on the earth, any time in history, so which human being is left out? No one. All included. So this is an inclusive approach. Anybody on the earth, any time in human history, whoever recognizes the true God, not only recognizes but accepts the true God. What do I mean by true God? True God means the God who has conveyed about himself who is he, how is he. Not God of our imaginations, not God the product of our own mind, because human mind has taken gods, the things which are those things which are creatures. So those gods is not the creator worship, they are the creature worship. So when we say true God, what do we mean? So I want you also to participate in the discussion. What do you mean by true God? And I branded all other gods as false gods. Why false? Because they are outcome of human imagination, human perception, human ideas. Somebody thinks Jesus is God for certain reasons. Somebody says sun is God. Some people worship sun for certain reasons. Some people take Ganesh as God. Ganesh, yesterday we discussed elephant head and body, human being. This is God of protection. So people have imagined God. So this is human imaginations. But God is not imagination. God is a reality. So we use the word true God. Now I want you to tell me, what do you mean by true God?
Unseen.
What do you understand? Why I should say true God? What exactly it refers to? What exactly it points out to? Why I should say this is true God? What makes me to say this particular statement with this based on this particular statement, this is the true God. This should be acceptable to the other party.
Creator.
Sorry?
The creator.
Creator. The other religions also have creator. This is the quality of creation. The word true, what does it imply? Why I should use true? Yes, please.
Because it negates the other deities.
Sorry?
It negates the other deities. You're affirming here.
Reword. I mean, आप सुना बोले आप बोले. Yes.
Yeah, so basically you're negating other imaginary gods that have their perceived.
The sound is echoing, so please tell me.
You are
Salman.
rejecting the other imaginary gods. You have to reject the other imaginary gods.
Yes, this is good. This is good. But when I use the word true, what exactly I mean? Why it should be true? I reject it. But I want true God. Rejection alone is not enough. I want to accept the God, the entity of God, the reality of God, which is a reality, it is not imagination, it is not an idea, but is a reality, unseen reality, but reality. It is not a concept, it is not a notion, it is a reality. Why I should say it is true? In which case I use this word true?
Because He Himself.
Sorry?
Because Allah Himself told us He is Allah.
Sister is saying because Allah Himself told us that He is Allah.
He is the God.
Excellent. If something is revealed by God Himself about Himself, who is He? How is He? This is the true picture of God. Now, the subsidiary question is, has God informed about Himself? Now we have to think about it. Yes, He has informed Himself. He doesn't come to every individual to inform. He has got a process of giving information, conveying information. And this process is through what we say prophets and messengers. That means He chooses best of the humankind at that moment in that place, and conveys this information of unseen realities, not only about God but other unseen realities. What exactly is the reality? And these people in turn, without addition, without any deletion from this revelation from God, they communicate to public human beings. And these people are such that they are dependable. So I give the example, yesterday also I have given an example. We believe there was a coronavirus, but I have not seen corona, the virus corona. But we have a picture, electron microscope picture is a corona, it has got crown-like features, so it is called coronavirus. But I have not seen. But why should I believe? I believe because someone whom I trust, that information is not wrong, he has conveyed. The scientist has conveyed. The one who is involved in this particularly activity of finding out the viruses, he has conveyed. We trust this information, so we believe, yes, I have not seen, but this is a reality. Why that example? Another example. When we fall sick, we go to physician, a doctor. We don't want to see what is your degree. You are MBBS, you are a qualified doctor or not. He is famous. His name is enough. Refer to this doctor, go to this doctor. So I go there. And doctor hears you and says what is wrong with you. And then tells you what is wrong with you and prescribes certain things. And tells, do this. Take this morning, evening. This once in a time. Take this injection. Do all this. This is syrup. All those instructions I follow exactly. Why I should follow? Because to improve my own health. I have gone to him for this purpose, so I follow. But why I believe that he is telling correct? Why I believe? Because I believe he is qualified to tell what he is telling. If any Tom, Dick and Harry says same thing, if you are having fever, take this, I will not believe, because he is not qualified. So when somebody is qualified to give the information, he gives certain information, I believe this is true information, and this information is dependable, trustworthy, and I have got another tool with me to do the analysis whether it is true or not, and this is intellect, our aql. I can test, does it make sense? If it makes sense, and then I reached the conclusion, I must accept this as reality. He says, you have cancer. I have to accept this. Yes, this is reality. What he is telling is reality. It is cancer. It is not typhoid. It is cancer. So, same way, when the prophets say something, I have trust in these personalities who are the best of humankind, and the people around him, they know him, that they have never told anything wrong or anything for their own benefit, worldly benefit. They are doing only for the benefit of others. And they declare this. My job is just to convey. I am not demanding any favor from you. I am doing only for the sake of God. Believe me, accept me, and this is the reality. And also they threaten, you may not believe and you may not follow. Then what is the consequences? All those things are mentioned by them. And the people who reject, then history records this. They have rejected, and what happened to them? So all these previous prophets who were rejected, and they warned their community, if you reject, this is the thing going to happen, and it did happen. These are the signs of Allah, ayat of Allah. Allah is informing, if you don't believe, then listen to their events. What happened to them who rejected? If you also behave like this, you will have the same fate. So these are the so many things for us to believe this information which are conveyed by these prophets and messengers cannot be wrong, we trust. So this information about who is Allah, how is He, this has been conveyed from day one when man landed on the earth, even before that. So Adam alayhi salam, he was the first human being who walked on earth, and what he preached was nothing but talking about God and organizing life according to His instructions. Until the last prophet, the same message without any variation. Why no variation? Because truth doesn't change with time or place. Truth remains same. I repeatedly give the example, if you remember. 2 plus 3 is how much? 5. 10,000 years ago, 2 plus 3, was it 4.5? No, 5. After 10,000 years, 2 plus 3, 5.5? No, 5. Truth doesn't change. Reality doesn't change. Sun is bright. When sun is there is existing sun. We know it is bright. This is the truth. If somebody said, no, sun is not bright, it is something else, that means there is something wrong with his eyesight. It is not that the reality becomes unreality, but your understanding of the reality is there is something wrong. This is questionable. So these are the things when we talk about the true God, that means God who has conveyed about Himself. Who is He? How is He? I think I can spend a little more on this. Of course, this is not the topic directly in what, but this is basic thing. When we mention about God, what comes to mind? The Creator. Yes, Creator is the first element to start with. When we say God, it should be Creator. But Creator, other people also believe, those who are not Muslims. Hindus believe there is a Creator. Christians believe there is a Creator. Jews believe, Shintos believes, Confucius, Zoroastrians believe, so many people believe there is a God. Existence of God. They believe. This alone is not enough. So there are certain things there are qualities which make him God apart from creation. These are exclusive, unique qualities which are present in God. And the God is one who possesses these particular specific, unique qualities, this sifat, his attributes. So you remove those attributes, if you say God, unacceptable. Because when God says, who is He? He defines Himself, how is He? We cannot see as an entity, His Dhat, His essence, but we can know from His attributes. Attributes or qualities, these are the things through which we recognize God. The activity of creation, this we recognize God. We have not seen God, but He has created, and we use our mind to deduce, if there is a creation, there has to be a creator. If there is a table, there has to be a carpenter. So simple. If there is a universe, there has to be a creator of the universe. So directly we get the evidence. But the next step is, okay, I accept there is a creator, but what are this creator? It is only creator, or creator means if you remain stuck at this level, okay, there is creator, I accept. So what? Let him create. I have got my business, the creator has his business. He is busy in doing his job, I am busy in my job. So what? Let there be a creator. How does it matter? No, he is not creator alone. He is something more. He is our caretaker. He is our sustainer. Your existence depends on Him. You may not realize, you may realize or may not realize, but you owe your existence to this Creator through this quality of Rabb. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Is not your only creator, but everything which is created, He is the sustainer. He is the provider of all those things which are required for the creature to exist and to operate, for which this creature is created. So these things are all associated with Allah, who has informed us He is not only creator, but He is also caretaker. He is provider, sustainer, Rabb. So that's why in the first chapter, the introduction, praise be to Allah, who is our Rabb. What is the last chapter? 114? Surah Nas. This also, in the beginning of the Quran, in the end of the Quran, what does it say? قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ النَّاسِ رَبِّ النَّاسِ Rabb. Again repetition. Rabb. This quality. Okay. Another quality which is exclusive to God, which has God Himself introduced, is what? Another quality, important quality. Sorry? When we say, no, it's okay. Yes. When we open the Quran and start reading, what is the first verse? First verse. Very first. Nothing before that. What is that? Bismillah. In the name of Allah. Who is that Allah? Ar-Rahman. Ar-Rahim. He is introducing Himself. In the name of Allah, who is Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. Both are related to mercy. Both are related to show kindness and care. One shows the degree, intensity. The other shows the permanence or ever existing. Somebody may be very generous and give lot of money to you, millions of dollars he gives you, but it is one time. He is generous, but one time. Nobody is generous every time, every day he doesn't give. But Rahim means it contains this aspect of mercy which is ever flowing. It is never stopping. Whenever you want, you have it. And this mercy is specifically reserved for those who believe in Allah, Muslims or mu'mineen. So this is scholarly interpretation of this Rahman and Rahim difference, but the root is same. So that means Allah we have to accept as not only creator, but He is our caretaker. He is a very kind, compassionate entity. And this also is contained in the word Rabb. The word Rabb contains all these shades of meaning. It contains the shade of meaning as a creator. It contains the shade of meaning as sustainer, Rabb. For example, on our worldly life, we see such quality in human being, in whom, which human being? The quality of Rabb, we see, sorry? Mother. She takes care of you, no one else. From the time of birth, day 0, she is taking care. Until what? Even if you grow, she shows the same love and affection and care towards you. She sees to it that you are not put to trouble. If you cry in the night, she doesn't take snoring and deep in the sleep. No, she will immediately become restless. She will try to help you. She will try to comfort you. If she finds that you need some food, immediately available, provides you. This is mother. And this mother, example of mother, if you want to see in God, multiply by infinity. Many more times. Mother is human, child is human, both are human. They have got their own limitations. But when we say Allah, that rububiyyah, that taking care, the quality of taking care is tremendous, incomparable. So imagine when we say Rabb, the quality of a mother multiplied by infinity. To that extent. Not only mother plus father. Fathers plays great role in upbringing the child. So all those qualities put together, they are found in the word Rabb. There is no English equivalent. That's why we say sustainer, provider. No, these are very limited. There are different shades of meaning contained in this Arabic word Rabb, which cannot be translated with single word. You have to describe a whole thing in a long sentence to completely convey the meaning. Even then it is not sufficient. So Allah, when we say true God, all those elements are attached to that. And how do we know these qualities? Because He has conveyed. So we say He is true God. It is not we imagined Allah is like this. But Allah has conveyed this information that He is like this. He is Rabb, He is Rahman, He is Rahim. And not only these qualities, but there are many more, hundreds of qualities mentioned in the Quran and Hadith. We say beautiful names of Allah. Those qualities. And these qualities are to infinite degrees, unlimited, unique, in the sense that they are eternal, always there, always will be there. They are not given by anybody else, like Allah has given us knowledge. It comes at one point in time in our life and goes. It comes and goes. Allah's knowledge, of course, He has got knowledge. It is eternal. That means it was always there, it is always be there. It is absolute, unlimited, and not given by anybody, it is intrinsic, His own. So these are the unique qualities of the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Creator. So all these things are to be imagined when we say the true God. We as Muslims, we should know this. So when we communicate to non-Muslim, whatever capacity we understand, but our understanding, if it is not there, you convey something and then it is not sufficient for him to get attracted. So I was giving one definition that any person on the earth, any time in history, that means all human beings, wherever they are, whenever time-wise, anyone who recognizes one true God. I have given the sources of recognition also. The basic source is your intellect, you can find the evidences. The other source is the conveyor of the truth, the prophets and messengers. The information comes from them. So these are the two sources from where I know what is truth about God. If I find this truth found by the teachings of these people, yes, this is true. Other things, they are later development, it is human imagination. So this is about recognizing God. Is this enough? No. You have to accept that God. Accept. Is it enough to accept? Is it enough to accept? I accept it. God is there, He is like this, I accept. What else? I have to interact with this God. I have to have a relationship with this God. I should know what He wants from me and how I should look at Him, how He is looking at me. All those things are relevant. So, first step is recognize the true God. Have the true concept of God. That means true concept means two things. Who is He? How is He? Okay. Then accept Him. It is not that you recognize and you are happy that He is there, I am here. But the third step is the final step, that having accepted, it means I have certain things to fulfill as His right, and that is submission or follow His rules, which He is giving as guidelines to my way of life. So this is Islam. So any person, anywhere in the world, any time in history, whoever recognizes God, accepts that God, true God, and submits to His will and command and follows guidelines, this person's religion is what? Islam. This is the definition, my definition. I mean, you may agree, you may disagree, but this is how I concluded. Islam has to be presented because the other person understands Islam as a religion, so I have to use the word religion, otherwise it's not a religion, it's an attitude, basically. But when there is a religion, then I have to say that whole humanity had this particular religion. One religion, there are no multiple religions. There is no supermarket of religions. There is no choice of religions. I want to buy laptops, Sony brand, Toshiba brand, Lenovo, so many brands are there. I choose whatever suits me. No, there is no choice. Why there is no choice? Between human being, between a creature and the creator, there is only one straight line. Straight line, Sirat Mustaqim. There cannot be more than one straight line. Straight line means point A to point B, there is only one straight line possible. Yes, Brother Mark?
Struggling with
why do you put such emphasis on this word true? I mean, I know you just elaborated and tried to explain, but I'm still a bit fuzzy on it because, I mean, we hear a lot about in the Declaration of Shahada, the one and only God. We hear about like monotheism, faiths, and such, right? But do I really need to trust the word true? We of course understand that as believers, but when you're trying to convey this understanding of what's true and what's not true, it's just total, BS to most people, because if they don't believe it, they don't believe it. So if I could, just a few more words on why the emphasis on the term true.
First of all, my hearing defect. Then secondly, the sound system. So I would like Salman to let me know what he was talking about without microphone.
Brother is saying that could you please emphasize why you were emphasizing on the word true God, because for people it's like it's just faith and just believe it.
Yes.
They don't.
Yes. Yes. Good question. Very good, relevant question. Excellent question. We must know. Every Muslim must know. What do I mean by true religion? I mean by true religion, the things, first of all, which is acceptable to common sense. There are many things which people believe, which even a child doesn't accept. Child doesn't accept. Ganesh can be a god. Hindu scholars, learned people, PhDs, affluent people, they believe Ganesh as God. It doesn't pass through the filter of intellect, common sense. It doesn't make sense. Something mythological can be taken as God. Mythology is the imagined stories passed down through generations. This is mythology. One Hindu was telling me, in Islam you don't have mythology. I said, no, there is no need for mythology. Mythology is stories. We don't have stories. We have realities. We don't have mythology. So all those imaginations, speculations, they refer to non-truth, falsehood. The truth comes only from the single reality who has conveyed about the unseen other realities. Who is he? How is he? This was conveyed by God Himself. And we have our filter in mind to filter through whether this statement makes sense or not. It makes full sense. You need not be a PhD student to understand this simple concept of God. So easy. God is the creator and sustainer. The whole universe exists and continues to exist for a period of time. We exist, we continue to exist for a period of time. Who is managing? Who is controlling? There has to be a power. So this is common sense. Questions these things, and then you have this satisfactory answer, it is God. But God is unseen reality. This is also a fact. Though this is reality, it is not seen. Not only seen, but imagined. If something is imagined as God, is not God. God, we cannot bring in our imagination. Imagination means we imagine things which we have seen or which we have experienced. So that makes you go to imagination. We compare. But God is beyond imagination, beyond conception. Yes?
Yeah, that helps very much. Thank you. This notion of unfiltered connection, that's really brilliant. Unfiltered.
He says it makes sense, the notion of unfiltered connection.
Yes, this filter I refer to the intellect, the analytical capacity of our mind. It can decide what makes sense, accept it, what doesn't make sense, reject it. If somebody says, this table was created automatically, or this building was made automatically, or a laptop was made automatically, this is no sense. Something cannot create itself. There has to be a creator. So this is done, this analysis is done here. So this is the filter. You have to pass through the filter. If the filter says accept it, then okay. It goes down to your heart, and then I accept, I feel comfortable. But if not, it may go directly without filter, and I still accept, and I feel comfortable. No. This particular information, without filtering, it has come, this is not acceptable. That's why Ganesh is accepted as God. Did not pass through the filtration of common sense, filtration of evidence. It's not available. So without filter, we cannot reach the confidence. Confidence comes through our faith becomes strong only through using this filter. Reason, intellect is a valid way to faith in Islam. Christians say don't use. This is faith, you accept it blindly. Islam doesn't say accept blindly. Islam says, not only says, it commands, use this. If you use and reach the conclusion which is informed to you, then this is the true faith. And without this, you are lost in your own world. Yes, please.
When we saw like someone was putting a food for his creator, his God, someone putting a food for his God, like offering for his God, or someone who's worshiping like a cow or a monkey or a snake, whatever is fun. So they know, like, they believe this is a real, true God, or just following, like, inna wajadna abana ala ummatin wa inna ala atharihim muqtadun, whatever our father were doing, so we are just following them blindly.
Yes.
So they never use their mind.
Yes.
How can this one is a God?
Yes.
So, like, they are not using
Yes.
their mind to differentiate between the true God and just a God.
Yes. So the Quran also answers to this. People say, why are you following this way? The people say, this is how we found our forefathers doing, and we are following their traditions. That means, Quran says, you are not using your aql. If they are misguided, you want also to be misguided? No. Maybe he is a human being, he may not have got the whole truth, but if the truth is available to you, how do you dare to reject? Who will be put to loss? You will suffer. So Quran encourages you to use reason. Aql, reason, is a valid way to attain faith. This is not blind faith. You cannot shut the door to using your mind. Mind is a tool provided to reach to the truth. Yes, please.
Just one last point on that, because I thought what I was understanding was an unfiltered approach means that it's not being, means that it's more monotheistic, more distilled, right? And then you contradicted sort of what I initially thought, but this notion of true being like a highly distilled version of monotheism, right? So it's unfiltered because all the other versions of monotheism have their own filter. That's all I was mentioning, so I kind of thought you flipped that, but never mind.
Brother understood the point.
Okay.
Sister has a question.
Yes.
Many people believe in one God but use different medium to reach the true God. Different
Ways to reach true God.
yes, yes, yes.
There are no different ways. There is one straight line. That's what I was telling. Only one straight line.
That's according to Muslim.
Not according to Muslim, according to common sense, according to this filter. Point A to point B, if you want to connect, how many lines you need? One. It's not Muslim. It is everybody. A to B, if you want to join, one line only. If any other line is there, it's deviated, curved line. Yes.
How to rationally make them understand this? Not by the way of faith, like I'm Muslim.
No. Don't bring Islam into this discussion. You just address their mind, their intellect. You ask, can you please tell me how many straight lines are possible between 2 points, point A to point B? What the answer comes from this person? Even if we are not talking about religion, this is common sense. The person will say only one. I say,
Where my point A is.
yes,
Maybe I'm here and he's here.
Yes.
For him the point A is this one. For him the point A is this one.
Yes.
And I'm the point B. So he can reach me here and he can reach me from here.
point C.
This straight line.
Point C, you are talking about 3 points. Point B,
Point B is common.
not common. Point A to B. Point A is human being. Point B is God. That's all. No point C. No third person.
That's what I mean. That's exactly what I mean.
But he
Okay, this is point A. This is point B. How many straight lines? One. Sorry. Okay. This point refers to human being. These points refer to God. From human being to God, to reach God or to understand God, there cannot be different ways. If you find different ways, they are not different ways, they are different channels. These channels means, for example, I do not reach this point only through my intellect, through my own effort. So I need assistance from the one who tells me what is this straight line, what is this straight line, and this information comes from the Prophet. He tells me what is this straight line, what is Sirat-e-Mustaqim. So that particular information I believe and I adhere to this particular straight line.
From the land where I came from, there is no prophet.
Right.
So how can I explain that person to this?
Yeah, this is another
Okay.
area. And this also needs a big discussion actually. We are thinking the dawah is very easy, we can do in 1 hour, 2 hours. No. Prophet himself, the best of da'i, he spent 13 years in Mecca doing his best. But he was, how many he got? Very few. Handful people. Prophet Noah, Nuh alayhi salam, how many years? 950 years. How many he could convert when we put what? There are ahadiths which mention 950 means if one person per year, how many will be there? 950 persons. In 10 years, how many persons?
10.
In 10 years, one person, then 95 persons. 10 times 95 becomes 950. What the hadith says, he did not bring more than some figure which is less than 95. So why I am giving this arithmetic, that even in 10 years of dawah, he could not bring one person. And he is counted as the first resolute messenger, Ulul Azm. The people who have done their best with full determination, with full effort, putting full effort. These messengers are called Ulul Azm. We identify 5 of this. The first one is Prophet Nuh. The last one is Muhammad. In between, who are there? Ibrahim, Musa and Isa. They were all resolute Ulul Azm. Their efforts were fantastic, incomparable. Yes. So, I mean, these are the things related to, not directly related to my talk, my topic, but they are useful things which form the foundational we perform the foundational role in understanding dawah. So my topic is understanding dawah. Understanding dawah means dawah is not just speaking or giving lecture. Dawah is bringing this transformation in a human being from one mindset to another mindset. And it is not a job of 1 hour, 2 hours. It's a big job, and this is why I was giving example. Nuh alayhi salam, 10 years one person he could not get. This is the importance of dawah. But our job is not that difficult, like Nuh alayhi salam, those things were different. Our job is very easy. Things have changed, and we have seen how Islam spread in the beginning. After the well established, after in Medina, it was established completely, then it spread. Within 100 years, it reached China. So fast, so far away. Why? Islam has a potential to appeal human being, and that potential we have to address. That potential we have to present. Relationship of Islam, or talking about Islam in relation to humanity. This is the right attitude. If we say Islam paralleled with other religions, then this is approach may be good for some people, but not basically is right approach. Islam doesn't understand religions. There are no plural. There is only one religion. If you are looking for a religion, nothing but that particular, the religion has to be reworded. I say the way of organizing life. It's a way of life. The Islamic concept of religion is deen, and deen has this concept. It is not a formality, it is not a ritual, it is not only worship, it is a way of life. So this way of life is that of submission. It is an attitude. So this concept has to be understood first so that it can be communicated properly. Yes. Oh, how is? Hello? Hello? No need. I don't need this, all this. This is shaitan. This hinders our mind flow of thought and your connection with me. I can keep you engaged without this better than with this. Yes. So, yeah.
This is only for recording.
Yeah, this is for recording. It's okay, acceptable. Yes. So this is my normal way. I never talked in my career of teaching or making dawah sitting. I am sitting just because I had some health problem. I was having some issue. So I was advised by the doctor, I have to take care, I should take rest. I have not come to Bahrain after 4 years only to take rest. I have come with a mission. And I told Dr. Nijma, every day, every moment I want to be productive. And that's why I'm busy. Even if by sitting, doesn't matter. But my style is, I always talk. Not only talk, remaining at one point, I keep moving also. But this is difficult, I'm sorry. But I want to keep you engaged, attached to me every time. If somebody feels not connected with me, I go to that, I make him target. Particularly students. Oh, young students, I come down to their level and interact with, in their level, cutting jokes, and they enjoy. If I do the same thing to elders, they feel offended. This is the beauty of children. They never feel offended, they enjoy. So I have to be a little bit cautious. If I say something which is offending to you, I do not mean this offense. But it is only out of my effort to keep you engaged. I put questions not because to test your knowledge. My questioning is to engage you. When we have the question, then we start thinking. Otherwise, somebody is talking in a monotonous voice, then in the night time particularly, we feel a lullaby, we feel sleepy. So this is to change this particular condition, I have to be interactive. I put questions, but I don't expect the correct answers. I love silly answers, stupid answers. Why? Because they are the best answers. It opens the door to discussion. Apparently it looks silly, but no question I consider silly. No question is silly. Every question has a basis. Why is this person having this question? So every question is meaningful. And we think that it is silly because we compare. We do not go down to that person's level to think what is in his mind. So if I realize this, then it becomes easy to engage. Anyway, this is all side issues. They are taking time, but this was also, I think, it was helpful, and for a change from this routine, it will be an energizer sort of thing. So going back, yes.
So during the ATM tour, do you prefer for the tour like in Al-Fatah Grand Mosque, like a large number of visitors or few numbers of visitors and like giving good quality tour? Some people sometimes coming in a group, so like different beliefs, different nationalities, different language, so the tour will be mixed, so we need like certain issues to be focused on. Like if like two couples are coming together, you can give like more than 1 hour, 2 hours, like even a good quality tour. So which one you prefer, like large numbers or few numbers?
The number doesn't matter to me. What matters, the activity of engagement with the person. Engagement means mind to mind, heart to heart. I am able to connect the person or not. If I am telling something which is making sense to me, but this fellow is not connected by mind, it's all waste of time. So number doesn't matter. If one person takes interest and pays attention and gets benefited, it gives me great pleasure. So I focus. But I don't leave any person who is apparently not reacting. So I try to make him react, but still not reacting. I try another time, still not doing, it's up to you. So I leave it there. So I do my best before going. So if the group is there with different interests and different level of understanding, of course, this is human. No two humans are same, intellectually or otherwise. So we have a variety. So I must accept this reality that people are not the same thinking, same condition of heart. They are different. So I should say something which can be considered as common to all. And of course, I am not a professional teacher, a scholar. So I try to understand myself what is best. Maybe it is not the way I am thinking myself that I am doing the good job. I may be wrong. So this interaction helps me to address my weaknesses. I point out, that's why whenever some presentation is there, I make the slides. These slides are for a long time going on, but I change. I start adding, I start devoting. I learn from you all. So you are my teachers. You are not listeners. You are my teachers. Your questions are very educative for me. Not only you, but small kids, their questions are also very educative. I learned from the teachers. They are the best teachers. Kids are best teachers. They raise the curiosity. They ask parents, what about this? I say, don't ask. Yeah, kid, why are you asking? We are Muslims. No, this is not correct attitude. These questions, since you don't know, you want to shy away. You don't want to give answer. But you should be thankful to the kid he is asking. This is providing you an opportunity to discover. You read or listen to someone who knows and get more knowledge about it. So this is an opportunity when you interact with other people, raises a discussion. Discussion is excellent opportunity to go into these fundamental issues related. Okay. Okay, now we go back to the definition of dawah. Okay, no, don't. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Once I identify this as shaitan, I seek protection from Allah. Okay. Inviting to the way of Allah. Okay, when we invite you, you come to attend this class, for example, you don't live in this hotel, but you have come some other place. And what I am offering you? I am offering you the information, the knowledge. So I am giving you something. Okay. Now I want to analyze this particular activity of invitation. So I say, inviting to the way of Allah is an activity of bringing someone close so that I can offer. I'm inviting to attend my lectures. That means you are leaving your place, you are leaving your engagements and attending to this. So you are coming close to me. Okay, why this point? I want to take this person on whom I want to do dawah. That is, I'm interested in inviting him to Islam. So the first step is, I have to bring the person close to me before I take him close to Allah. If the person is not close to you, it is very difficult to take him to Allah, unless the person himself has been very open-minded and is looking for the truth, and he finds some information, he catches. So these are not so many people. Most people are traditionally caught up in their own religion. Very difficult to leave this religion. I have come across with people who accepted it, that Islam is the true religion, but they have not made shahada. I say, no, I have got my mother. She says, if you accept Islam, I will not allow you to enter my home. And he said he was a computer analyst or something like that. He was Hindu. He said, my mother will commit suicide. She doesn't want me to talk about any religion. When he was studying in school, this was a missionary school, missionary school, where they try to do some missionary work also on students, which is acceptable in India, for example. Once he was given a book, Bible, and he brought, getting free, put in the shelf. And the mother discovered Bible in this. What? Why you have brought this book from another religion? Throw it. We have Hinduism. We are proud of Hinduism. We respect Hinduism. Anything out. Even if it makes sense, no. We are traditionally Hindu, we remain Hindu. So this is the emotional attachment. So unless the person comes close to you, it is difficult. Of course it is possible, but it's difficult to take him close to Allah. What do I mean by bringing close? Bringing close means this person, when he is sitting with me, listening to me, he is in receptive mode. That means he is prepared. Mentally he is ready to listen to me. His heart is accepting and feeling comfortable with my interaction. So this is bringing close. Mentally, by mind, by intellect, makes sense to that person, and he does his own analysis and then accepts to feel comfortable. So I define Dawah in its first phase, it is connecting people. The first step in Dawah is connecting people. This is the starting point. When you gain confidence and the other person is feeling comfortable with you to listen, and he is feeling comfortable with you that whatever I am listening from this person, it makes sense to me and is valuable information to me, this confidence is very necessary. Very necessary. Not always, of course, there are many exceptions, but I am referring to a typical scenario. I will give example from the life of the Prophet ﷺ. Okay. He became prophet at what age? 40. He was known to people. He was very popular among his people. They were referring to him as As-Sadiq Al-Amin. That means most truthful, most trustworthy. This person has been given the task to convey the message from Allah. So he doesn't go door to door, see, believe in La ilaha illallah and I am the Prophet of Allah, Muhammad Rasulullah. He did not do this. What did he do? Do you remember? How did he approach people?
First he invited his people to his house and created a small feast.
Good, excellent. First he did was, he invited people, the Quraysh, particularly the elite from all public. So when he gave a call, people ran. They said, Muhammad is calling. Such a popular person, he is calling, that means we must go. So they all came. Then he said, did you find me any time I have told any lie? No, you are as-sadiq al-amin. We know. Are you sure? Yes. Then he put another question to test this confidence. If I tell you, suppose, there is an army of enemy, I am standing, he was standing on an elevated place in hillock, and people are in the down below. He said, if I tell you there is an army of enemies on the other side, which I can see, you cannot see, would you believe? They all said, of course, we have never seen you telling anything incorrect. We definitely believe. Then the people were connected. He established his connection. And then he said, okay, I have an important message. That is, La ilaha illallah. And this message is conveyed to me as a messenger. So I am chosen as a messenger. La ilaha illallah means they understood, they were Arabs naturally. It is not like parroting like we born Muslims. La ilaha illallah, just say without any input from the mind or heart, just like a parrot, lip service. They understood the meaning. La ilaha illallah, that does it mean there is no God except Allah. They were believing in Allah. But their belief in Allah was with partners of Allah, shirk. They were mushrikeen. They were mushrikeen of this area, Arab. They had 360 gods put inside Kaaba. I say, we reject all this. We are having our power, our business, our respect because of these gods. How can we reject? And our forefathers have been passing on this particular responsibility to us. Are you crazy? You are inviting, reject all these gods? Are you have gone crazy? For this you have called us? Oh, then the leaders, they said, go back, he has become mad. Then they have given all names, he has become a magician, he is already possessed or some, all those things, he is like poet and all. Those things were there. Abu Jahl, his own uncle, Abu Lahab, his own uncle, they were in the forefront. And they told, because they were leaders, they told the masses, go back home. So this was the attitude towards a person who established in presence of all that he is worth trusting. And such a person was rejected. And he spent 13 years doing what? Sowing the concept in their minds of true God. They were not accepting this concept. This concept, it took time, effort for such a person. So, the bottom line is, essence of dawah, I call it essence of dawah, not exactly dawah, is to first gain confidence with whom you want to talk about Islam. Confidence of what? That he is willing to trust me, believe me, accept my reasoning. If it is connected, and this conversation which you have, it will shake their faith. They may not accept openly, but at least you trigger a thinking process. You put a switch to car to start. Then it starts. You have to put the key and you turn the key and the thinking process starts. This man who was not having a thinking mind starts thinking. So this is an important process in the activity of dawah. So these are the things which are important for understanding dawah. It does not mean that everyone is alike. There are people who are very soft-hearted. There was one person, in the first go, he accepted Islam by the Prophet. Who was he? Abu Bakr. He did not go for all this, he said, oh, what is this and this. He did not do any analysis. That's why he became very good supporter of the Prophet ﷺ, first person among males to have accepted Islam. His heart was like a soft clay. But the mushrikeen or the polytheists of Makkah, their heart was not like clay. How was it? I am a geologist, so I used language referring to stones. I give the example of granite. Have you heard about granite? Very hard rock. If you put with hammer one stroke, nothing happens. Another stroke, nothing happens. Maybe 10 times some crack develops. You have to continue hitting. But what about clay? Soft soil. If you want to break it, one hit is enough. Oh, easily. So people's heart are comparable to the rock. Some rocks are soft, like clay stone, shale, we have terminology, geological terminology. Some rocks are hard, like granite, basalt, all those are very hard. So in order to break, we use dynamite, very powerful. We need dynamite. But dynamite is not available to every of us. So what we do? We keep trying at the person, making hits. 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hit. Ultimately, some hit, if it makes effect, then the rock will be broken. But it may not be broken, so it's a loss for the person. Or maybe something wrong with your heating. So these are two factors responsible for this. The point is, which I want to convey, that dawah is not one-time effort, that you have done this and nothing is happening means you give up. You have to keep hitting. You have to keep trying to open the heart, open the mind. You have to make him think. They don't think. They use only emotions. They are emotionally attached to their traditions. Prophet's uncle Abu Talib, who loved the Prophet, who took care of the Prophet in his childhood. He protected the Prophet. He loved the Prophet. And Prophet loved him. In turn, he was both loving each other. And such a person, the Prophet approached for accepting Islam. He said, Muhammad, it's difficult for me. I have to follow these traditions. So he did not change. So this is the time when Allah said, you cannot guide people. It is Allah who guides. Allah who guides. Innaka la tahdi man ahbabta. You cannot guide whom you love. But it is only Allah guides whom He loves. Who deserves guidance. Allah knows who is worth to be guided, who is not. So this whole activity is dependent on Allah's guidance. So, but Allah says, we will see later on why dawah. help me. Kunu ansar Allah. Be helpers of Allah. Allah is telling, you help me. Does Allah need help? No. That may help me means it refers to help His cause. You are instrumental in this. Allah doesn't directly keep, if Allah wants to give something to you, some money, He doesn't open the roof and drop it. Dollars are dropping. No, it's not like this. Some arrangement He makes, some means are chosen, some friend will come, some friend will deposit some money or give something to you. So indirectly, these are the ways of Allah. So Allah knows who deserves to be guided, who doesn't. So it is the left to Allah. So coming back to this, the first step, the essence is, first we have to gain confidence. You have to befriend the person. Person should have trust in you to listen and to take it to heart. If this activity is operative, there may be somebody may take time, somebody may react immediately. We have got cases in Al-Fateh, after the tour, the person makes Shahada. But there are cases, the person is educated, very intellectual, years are passing, and we are reminding. She was American and she was teaching in the university, and she took time. She had lot of discussions. She was very analytical. The decision we want to make after a lot of his research, then she took Shahada. So people are different. Some are quick, some are, they take time. So whosoever is there, if somebody doesn't respond immediately, no problem. This is the nature of human being. Don't blame this person. Maybe there is something wrong you did not do properly. There may be something wrong with you even. Don't blame other. So you have to do this sort of analysis also. Is there anything which I didn't do properly, which is not effective? But no, we lose patience. Muslims are very emotional and we want result quickly, quick fix. We don't have quick fix. Islam, Dawah is not quick fix. Dawah is work of patience. And you see all these prophets, examples when we see, they are excellent in their patience. They are characterized with patience. So patience is a characteristic of a da'i. If da'i is impatient, he is not fit for dawah. This is the quality you have to develop if you want to become a professional. It doesn't mean that all those qualities only you can do dawah. There are many ways to dawah, we will come to that point. And those ways are open, available to everyone. According to your capacity, you can do dawah. You need not open your mouth, you can do dawah. Silent dawah. What is Brother Umar, silent dawah?
Attitude through your action.
Excellent. Your behavior. Islam reached Indonesia. How? There was no war. It was the behavior of Muslims which attracted the locals to embrace Islam. Impact. So this is a point to be kept in mind. Dawah doesn't have to be only speaking, giving lecture and doing all these things. These are, I am giving all those points because they are, the topic is understanding dawah. So these are the elements to be understood. If you are understanding all this, then you can aspire for being a professional or fully prepared to do dawah. You can handle different situations, you can handle different cases, different people. So it prepares you for that purpose. So understanding dawah is important. But actual dawah activity, there is no need for so many things. This is also what I am going to explain. Acha, okay, this I was telling, connecting people. So what exactly I mean by connection? So I have defined, because when we give definition, then I can know whether I have achieved my objective of connecting or not. So I define in this fashion: a friendly engagement that makes an impact on the heart and mind of a person. Heart and mind means, mind refers to understanding and heart refers to feeling. Okay, this is I mean by connection. Connection is heart to heart, mind to mind. Something comes from my heart, it reaches their heart. That means this thing what you are telling has to come from your heart. If you are hypocrite, you are telling for the sake of only Islam is so beautiful, but you are not behaving like a proper Muslim, then it will not. I am smoking, but I am telling others don't smoke. It is dangerous to health. This will not be effective. The thing which I do, doing myself, I am preaching, but not practicing on myself. Lima taquluna ma la taf'ulun. Why do you say something which you don't do? So heart has to come to, we will come to in how aspect in more detail. Mind to mind is same. That you should know what are the points bothering him, to adhere to him, do analysis. Your mind, your CPU in the mind should be active to do that analysis, and then touch that CPU which is operative in his mind. So this connection which triggers a thinking process. So this is what I mean by. Okay, receptive mode. This same thing which I explained. What I mean by receptive mode, to bring in a condition of triggering a thinking process in the mind, prompting the person to reflect upon those points which you say, the person is forced to think. I was giving the tour of the mosque to a French guy, a Christian. But I was not talking about Christianity, I was explaining about the Quran. And certain things, I will not go into those details. I told, this is Quran. Then he said, we have Bible, but these things which are talking about, we don't have, with reference to the Bible. And like this, he started himself comparing Christian doctrines and Christian approach with what I was explaining with reference to Islam. I did not say any offensive thing with reference to Christianity. I did not talk about Christianity. I was talking about only presenting Islam relating to, in general, humanity, but showing the relationship with Christianity, how close we are. So those points I was highlighting. So at the end he said, beautiful. I have such ideas about Islam myself, but my family is very stubborn. They don't agree. So is it possible I bring them and you give tour? I said, of course, I'll be more than happy. Then he brought his, 2-3 ladies, family members and somebody, and gave a tour. And this tour, when completed, they were all very happy. And this person, he wrote in Gulf Daily News letters to editor. He was so happy that he wrote a letter that he brought his family members to this mosque and The tour guide, he did wonderful job. And he said, if you want to see the meaning of gentleman, you will find the name Sayyid Ali. To that extent, this newspaper cut I had kept, but when I left Bahrain, I don't know, somewhere misplaced. Because this was a testimony for me, this is a certificate for me, that my work affected him to that extent. He was a French guy, and he was so happy with my attitude, with my behavior. I did not preach about Islam. I just did something which attracted his attention. I won his heart. I opened his mind. So this is my effort. Winning the heart. Opening the mind. This is the job of a da'i. Not converting. Basically, what is your job? To win their hearts. To gain confidence. Open the mind. To trigger a thinking process. If this is done, halfway you are successful. And the later decision is his choice. He will decide based on his own conditions, his own problems. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy for most people. Of course, some people who are very open-minded, receptive, it's easy. But okay. So based on our discussion, I can say that any activity which can help the person to bring to the path of Allah, to the way of Allah, is dawah. This is a spiritual journey he is going through. You have to help him in this journey, spiritual journey. His connection with the Creator. Spiritual means, in simple words, when I speak the word spirituality or spiritual, it means connection with the Creator. Easy to understand. We are not going to philosophical, academic definitions of spirituality and other things. No. Connection with the Creator, on whom I depend every moment. I remain connected to Him. So this spirituality, he has to perform a journey. It's a long way to go to reach the final achievement, to attain the final achievement. So you have to help. Of course, Allah will guide, but Allah wants you to use as a tool to help. So this, any sort of help in this journey he receives from you, this is an activity of dawah. Any activity. It need not be informational, it may be otherwise also. You have helped him financially, for example. This activity has helped him to be closer to you. Dr. Zakir Naik was mentioning one of his experience, that one person who was in his audience, he showed a lot of interest in Islam, but he remained where he was. When Zakir Naik asked him something personal and about, I think, food or something, then he became again active and he said Shahada. And he commented, that person commented, because you did this, I was touched upon and I became Muslim. In Discover Islam, we used to have weekly meetings in which non-Muslims we were inviting Sheikh Islam was giving lectures. Those days I was just a driver and bringing snacks for them. This activity was my responsibility. Later on I picked up all those things, what I'm doing. This is later time. But in the beginning, when I say zero level, I started from scratch. So I was bringing people, non-Muslims who showed some interest, and through our advertisement in the newspaper, we got contacts, so we used to bring. And one Sri Lankan among them, he accepted Islam not by lectures. Brother Musa, our board member, Bahraini, my partner, co-partner in establishing Discover Islam, the idea came to both of us. We should do something, so it materialized, alhamdulillah. He was, after the serving shawarma, when they enjoyed, he came to collect the things, so wrapper, and to be thrown. He came with this plastic bag to collect that. This person saw, he is Sheikh Musa, he is member of Discover Islam, and he is doing this job. He didn't believe that how can such big person can do this menial job. So that impressed him a lot, and he said Shahada. And he told, what impressed him for Shahada was this, the behavior of Sheikh Musa to collect the leftovers or whatever, wrappers and other things, trash. He was moving people to person to person, collecting, going round, taking round. This simple activity, mundane activity, behavior, this is what is meant by silent dawah. Which activity will be appreciated by who, we don't know. But if things are done in the right way, which Islam prescribes, something else will definitely impact. One Hindu lady was interested in Islam. Why? Because she liked the Muslim dress abaya. She was housemaid, or I don't know, but she was not very educated. But she was I think from Bombay or something. She was telling, in India, I was having some Muslim friends I used to see wearing, but when I came to Bahrain, I said, people are wearing. So I got interested in how I should wear. So she was sitting with my daughter and with me, she was that time, and she explained all those things. Then she said, I will accept Islam. So my daughter was happy that through me, one person has become Muslim, recited Shahada. His coming to Islam was abaya. Unthinkable. How abaya attracted this person? We don't know. What attracts? There are so many things which can impact a non-Muslim mind, not only discussions, not only debates and all those things. Of course, they are valid, but we don't know. There are different ways. So the one thing is, if your behavior is Islamic, this is the starting point. When I give the training to the tour guides, first thing I told is, treat the tour guides as your guest. That means this is the building your heart to receive a guest in the mosque, not as a non-Muslim. When we see a non-Muslim, what sort of idea comes to a Muslim mind? A kafir. A kafir is coming in the mosque. So do you feel happy for a kafir to be here? No, not really. You may be having a smile for mujamala's sake, for courtesy's sake, and you may pose as a tour guide, and I am very happy. But back in mind and deep at heart, there is negativity of the feeling. So things have to come from the heart, that you are sincerely interested in the welfare of this person, human being, who doesn't know about the Creator. It is my job to effectively communicate about the information, very important information about the unseen reality of God. Who is He? How is He? This is the way we have to proceed. This is the way we have to prepare ourselves mentally. And this is the understanding of Dawah. Dawah has to be understood in such terms. It's not one way or one academic thing or one reading the book or attending one class. This is not this. This is mental preparation. This preparation, this was the attitude of the Prophet ﷺ. When he was doing Dawah, he was not interested in only Muslims. He was interested in humanity. When he was discouraged by the results of his Dawah activity in Mecca, he went to Taif. And you know what happened in Taif. He felt bad to the extent that the angels, they said, if you pray, we will crush them between the mountains. Then what was his response? These people, they do not know. These people, they do not know. Leave them alone. Maybe their children will worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the compassion. This is the care for a non-Muslim to save from hellfire. He was not looking for the tribe of Quraysh. He was not looking for any such thing. He was looking for humanity. And that particular sense to save humanity has to be with us when we do Dawah. And this is present among who? Among Christians. Their whole effort is to save human beings because they feel they have got the formula of Jesus dying for your sins. You accept Jesus, then you are saved. You are no more hell. So this concept they want to spread, as I told yesterday probably. Being a geologist, I was working in remote place bordering China in some state in India, Himalayan state. The whole state is situated on hills. There I found Christianity. 90% people are Christians. This was in 1980s. Not 70s when I was working there. I was curious to know how this was possible. When I contacted some people, they said, this missionary is coming from Ireland. See their dedication. To save humanity, they are coming all the way from a very comfortable place, Ireland, to which place? Malaria affected, hilly place, uncivilized place. What is the objective? To save humanity. And this is objective of Dawah for in Islam, but Muslims are away from this objective. Islam wants quickly, I say something, make shahada. Shahada. If shahada is done, excellent. Alhamdulillah. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. What is this Allahu Akbar? This will not help. This person has come to Islam, now he needs your help. Only shouting Allahu Akbar is not enough. Of course it is good to glorify Allah and mention this, Allahu Akbar. But this is not the way. The way should be, if you are really compassionate towards humanity, then you should be concerned. How I can help this person? My own experience in my local masjid, where I used to be in Bahrain, there was one shahada by an Indian. He was agriculture related, some worker, low grade. And he said Shahada. And the Imam, he was the one who gave Shahada to him. But this person, he was not knowing English or Arabic. So Imam announced, is there anybody who can explain Islam in his language, Hindi or Urdu? So that time I had moved to Discover Islam building. I was new. I raised my hand. I said, I'm from Discover Islam. This is my job. So then he said, okay, he was happy. He said, you sit with him. So I sat with him, and when the Musallin, the people in the mosque, when they saw, they also were interested. Somebody has made Shahada and is interacting with me. And they were also from India, Pakistan, Urdu speaking, Hindi speaking. So they showed interest. And we sat. One person commented, sir, what about his khatana? Circumcision? Circumcision? What is his concept? Muslim means circumcision. So this is our mentality. We are not concerned. Then I said, brother, he is a laborer. You should ask, what about his food? Has he taken lunch? You are not concerned about this. You are concerned about this. I took an American along with me from Discover Islam building, opposite the road, there was a mosque. I took him. He was still a Christian. He was showing interest in Islam. I said, let us go to the mosque and see how Muslims worship, how they pray. He was ready. He came along with me. And then he was a white man. So people in the mosque, they know me, and they saw that there is some white man has come. So they were surrounding me. And after the salah, they sat. So I said, he is American and he is studying Islam. One person commented, and he addressing directly to him, you see, when you are praying, this was touching the ground. This is not correct. You have to raise this. I said, brother, he is not Muslim. Why you are telling all these things? Somebody gave his telephone number, mobile number. Somebody says, this thing, if anything I contact. All this bombardment. He doesn't need all this bombardment. What he needs is support, help in the spiritual journey. This should be the attitude, our attitude. Anyway, the time is the constraint, but not the topic. Topic is very attractive and never ending. Alhamdulillah. So I stop here. Inshallah, we'll continue tomorrow. I will highlight certain misunderstood notions. Muslims have certain notions in their mind. This is dawah. So I have gathered some 4 or 5 points which I will discuss tomorrow. That this particular understanding is wrong. We Muslims do have this. Not all, of course. Most of Muslims, we have this sort of understanding about da'wah. So I will discuss those things based on my own personal experience with examples, my personal examples, and with reasoning, using the intellect. Okay. So I stop here. If there is any question or clarification needed, briefly, it is the time to ask. Whereas already we have crossed our limit, 8:30, 9 minutes over. We had spent some time in the beginning, so I am trying to compensate. Yes, please.
Mine is not a question, but
What?
mine is not a question. It's just another, like, somebody I have witnessed that reverted to Islam. The person reverted to Islam just because he was being treated nicely in the place where he was working. He's a driver. He has been working all his life with non-Muslims. Then he eventually got a job with a Muslim family. After he got the job, he saw different treatments. They give him breakfast, dinner, food. Okay, this is strange. All the houses I'm working, nobody gives me food because I'm a mere driver. I feed myself, but they're giving me what the family is eating. He became like, what is going on with this family? He asked, Madam, why are you treating me nicely? She said, no, I'm not treating you nicely because you're working with me. I'm treating you nicely because that's how Allah said we should take care of people that are under us. And he said, okay, this is Islam. He said, how can I know about Islam more? If Islam is to take care of people, I want to learn. That's how he became a Muslim, just because of the treating nicely.
Summary.
Sister mentioned the story and of someone how they became Muslim just because of being treated nicely.
Yes. Good. Alhamdulillah. Thank you. Jazakallah khair. Yes. So, the dua kafara. Somebody. Dua kafara.
Assalamu alaikum. So attraction will never end with Sheikh Sayyid Ali. So inshallah more attractions tomorrow. So we'll finish the session today by doing dua al-kafarat al-majlis. Subhanak Allahumma wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant. Astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. To be continued tomorrow inshallah 5:30.
Inshallah. Jazakumullah.
Come early.